It's nothing that obvious.
Okay.
What he does is he uses this prop right there. He used that once. This is lost and found stuff that shouldn't have been down there, but this envelope was in there. And he has no reason to really go in there unless a customer says, hey, I left my passport here and there's one in there. But this is so out of policy, it's not even funny.
And another issue is that they were keeping all of the lost and found, which this place had collected a lot of lost and found. I'm talking, birth certificates, IDs, just sentimental documents, everything from the copy center, flash drives. It was exploding out of the same.
On the 18th of July 2024, this case surfaced at a Staples store in West Palm Beach, Florida. The general manager did not slip cash into his pocket to hide the theft. Instead, he reached for a strange prop already sitting inside the safe. An envelope of lost passports and birth certificates left behind by customers.
Got a GM. He just went on LOA.
Okay. What does that mean?
29th, leave of absence.
Okay.
He basically job abandoned, but you know how those rules go. He didn't contact anybody, but then somebody got a hold of him through HR and they put him on LOA. That's so. So I get notification from our bank. And it goes through another person who works in corporate. Says, hey, we got 3 deposits outstanding. And it's from, it starts at the end of February. So I'm like 2 weeks behind on this notification. All right? I request to the store, to this GM, send me your Garda log that shows they're signed for. Garda comes, picks them up once a week. And then our weekly deposit log. So he sends that to me, and they look fine. Look like they're picked up and gone. So I'm thinking, oh, it's not our fault. It must be the Garda. They have a camera system, so I have to verify and confirm, right? So I'm watching it, and in any given week, you get 7 business days. Garda comes once a week, so you get 7 business days. So they should pick up a minimum of 7 bags. So Garda comes in. They're supposed to pick up 7 bags. He scans 6. It's clear as a day in the video. Camera right in there, right over top of you. Scans, he has to enter them out. Does it 6 times. So he leaves with 6. We have paperwork that shows he scanned 6, not 7. So we have one missing just in that example for $920. So the suspect here is the GM.
And and how long has that been going on?
Yeah, it started. The first deposit missing is the date. What is it? 2/29.
2/29.
Yeah, 2/29.
And it's been going every week since.
Yes. Well, it escalated. Obviously. Yeah. So
in the beginning, it was 1 bag.
Yeah.
And then how did it escalate?
It started 1 bag. Well, it was sales date 2/26. That was the first one, sales date. So we have 11 bags missing, and that's the total loss we have right now.
Okay.
And everything.
Under Florida Statute 812.014, theft has degree thresholds. Theft value between $20,000 and $100,000 is grand theft second degree. That single dollar figure turned this case from a misdemeanor into a felony.
And that's occurred after this. He went on LOA shortly after this because I started sticking my nose into it. Hey, send me the logs, send me this. He knew he was in big trouble.
And nothing happened after 3/17?
No.
Okay.
I started inquiring about 3/20, 3/21.
And it stopped?
Well, he left. Yeah.
He left.
And
what date did he leave?
His last day worked, I think, was 3/29.
3/29. But nothing happened from 3/17
we're clean.
to 3/29.
We're clean.
Okay.
Deposits picked up in the bank.
Okay.
The only person, let me show you the safe so you get a little grasp here. I wish I could open it for you. We got a prop with it, so we have to get locks to this out. So here's the safe. This is where the deposits were kept. And
this is where the deposits, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's where they are?
Yep.
Okay.
That's where they are. This is just your safe funds. This is where they keep all the money throughout the day, where they get changed. So they never have to go in there. It's a separate deal.
So at the end of the day, they get this, count it, and then put it in there?
Nope. The safe fund is what you operate your business with.
Okay.
It's like what you put in the drawers, and then you need change throughout the day. That's what that is. The deposits are at the end of the night. Like tonight when he comes in, he's going to pull all the drawers and then, subtract the $100 that we start the bank with, the drawer, and then the rest of it's our profit, the deposit. And then he seals it in a bag and they put it in there. There's a process for that.
Got it.
It's a 2-person process. But this was not secured like this. And it's supposed to work like that, where Garda comes in, puts in a second key. Well, I found out, obviously after the fact that you just pull up the handle and the deposits were accessible.
So it wasn't secure?
It wasn't secure.
Was this door secure?
Oh yeah, that door's always closed.
Okay, so only people who have access to this door will have access to that?
Yep. Key entry, and there's There's 5 people in the building that held a key. So that'd be the general manager, sales manager. Well, sales manager. He went to print marketing. So let's see, the tech soup. They don't have a sales manager right now. So it'd be the general manager, the tech soup, Mike, the MIS, and then you've got two print marketing soups that have a key. But you can eliminate almost all of them. One, and the reason is the print marketing soups never came in here during my investigation. From 226, I never even saw them come in here, and they would have no need to. They probably don't want to come in here because they got enough business over there. The tech soup, he closes about every night. He's here right now, Dwayne. I can eliminate him.
He never came in here.
Well, no, he came in here. He closed, but he had no interest in that. Meaning, he would. The way the process works is. He prepares the deposit and he leaves the money here, and then a second person comes in. This is our process, the company. Second person comes in, they verify it. So he's not stealing, right? They verify it. They put it in the bag while he's here, and they seal it, and the verifier throws it in there. Okay? So one's verifying the other, and that's the process. And then they're really consistent on it about 90% of the time. I did see a couple days where the person didn't come in and verify, and he verified his own deposit. So I already chewed him out for that. But because it kind of leaves you,
Yeah,
especially if there's money missing from it. Who do you think I'm going to talk to? Anyway, so the thing about Dwayne, he's in here a lot, but the camera's right there. And it shows what he's doing. He's preparing deposit here. He doesn't go down there until he throws the deposit in.
And Dwayne is the person that you're most suspicious of?
No, Dwayne he's clear.
He's clear, okay.
He's clear. He's the tech suit. The guy I'm suspicious of, it's so obvious. I'll show you a clip.
Okay.
The GM, he's got a drug problem. There's no question about this. Everybody, I talk to the key holders. I go, anything different going on? Anyway, that's another story. He says he's in the hospital. He's in rehab. Anyway, I don't know that for a fact, but the GM is the only one. Well, first let me explain the video. The video here, because there's so much dead time in this room, you could go 6-7 hours in a day while we're open for business. No one comes in here, door closed.
All right.
So for us to have to watch video for that would be.
Yeah, just skip forward until somebody's in here.
Yeah, but you don't know. But the way it's set up, it's motion activated. So as soon as that door comes open, the video backs up maybe 2 seconds. And then it starts recording.
Okay.
And then you see the door open, you see the people come in. So what I saw was the GM coming in, going into that deposit. So when he's here bending down, digging around into the deposit, from that angle, it's really difficult to see exactly what's going on. It's not like stealing from a register and you got the camera right.
But you don't see him put it in the pocket? Or...
It's not that obvious.
Okay.
What he does is he uses this prop right there. He used that once. This is lost and found stuff that shouldn't have been down there, but this envelope was in there, and he has no reason to really go in there unless a customer says, "Hey, I left my passport here and there's one in there." But this is so out of policy, it's not even funny. It's not how we handle it. But anyway, that bag was down there, and that's one of the things he messed with. And he would be down in there with the deposits, and then all of a sudden he walks out here and goes into his office with that bag, and then comes back and puts it in. So.
Also, he takes that bag with him.
Yeah, takes it into his office there.
Does this have cameras?
That's the manager's office. Yeah, the camera's there.
But does that camera see anything?
No, there's no camera in there.
Oh, there's no camera in there.
You're not going to see it. There is no clear concealment of the deposit bags. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay.
The only thing we have is kind of like a process of elimination. The person, you can't accuse somebody of stealing something if they never went in there.
Right.
He's the only one, and he did it time after time after time.
Hands. What's your name, sir? Anthony, you're under arrest. You have an arrest warrant, okay?
For what, sir?
Is there any guns in here?
No, sir.
Okay. Just stay right where you're at. You're under arrest for felony charges out of the city of West Palm Beach and referenced in fraudulent. Nope, that was for Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office.
Yes, sir. Charges for City of West Palm Beach. Come on out.
Come on out. No. Come on out. Well, put your hands on top of the car. I'm back to you.
Fresh charges for you, boss.
They're new. You got arrested on the 12th.
Right.
For Palm Beach County. That was for schemes to defraud and using other people's property, things like that.
Right.
This is for something completely different.
City of West Palm Beach charges. City of West Palm Beach.
All right. So Would you rather take this off and I'll cuff you?
Gosh.
I know it sucks, dude, but
I don't even know what's going
this is what it is, brother.
Yeah, I guess. I understand that.
You got some keys on you?
Yeah, I have my keys.
Okay.
Can I get my phone from there? Can
I'll
you grab
get your
it,
phone.
please?
I will get your phone. You want to take this off?
Anything. Yeah.
It'd just be easier, more comfortable if you want to take that off. It's fraud stuff. It's nothing violent. You're not, you're not.
What's going on?
I think he probably wants to. I'd give it a shot. It's probably worth talking to him about.
So I'm recording. I'm the detective assigned to this investigation. Okay. You understand that you're obviously under arrest. That you have the right to remain silent. That anything you say may and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before we get started, though, right now it's the time for me to ask you questions and for you to answer whatever you want to answer. Okay. The allegations are that were you an employee of Staples?
Yeah, I work for Staples.
Okay. And then what's your date of birth, Anthony? How long did you work for Staples?
I worked for Staples. I started with them in New York. Let's say it's like April 2023.
Since April of 2023. How long have you worked at the Staples here?
In this Staples here, I came. I think it was in around August 2023, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Between August and September.
Okay, so you started around August or September?
Yeah.
Okay.
2023. That date had moved around a couple of times. It was initially supposed to be October, but it was earlier.
Okay. What's your title?
That's the general manager for this location here.
Are you still employed there?
Growth Market. No. At this time, I was on an extended medical leave. I took very ill.
Okay.
And my doctor took me out of work. That was probably 3 months. I've been out. I have not returned, and I wasn't due to the job and just the conditions of what was going on. It was a big attributor to what made me sick. My physician had recommended that I find a different job.
What was it about the job that you don't have to tell me about your physical ailments, but
Right.
What was it about the job that would make you physically ill?
So, just very strenuous shifts. There was a lot. The company went through some very major realignments and shifts, changes to their operation structures and personnel structures, functional structures of personnel. In the time since I got there, I was brought there under the pretense and agreement. Part of why I accepted it was because I was told it was a turnkey operation, and in that it was going to be transitioning to a growth market model. So upon going there, we started getting bombarded with very high level visits from corporate from all over the country, from the investment group, and with that, leading up to it, it would be fire drills to just make preparations, clean the store, get all things just perfect, and working open to close for days, weeks at a time for that, and then there would be the visits, and then there would be a long list of initiatives and to get obviously executed after the visit per their instructions. That would happen probably, at one point 3-4 times a month. On top of that, the district and company did a whole realignment to where we had a new district manager, new divisional leader, and it was very aggressive. In this particular location and area, and the surrounding stores hadn't gone through the transition. I'm just trying to set the...
So you have a stressful job, I have a stressful job, people have stressful jobs.
Right.
Do you have any idea, and just, this is the time where you can help yourself.
Right.
You have any idea why a detective will be talking to you right now? And before you answer, please, do you have any idea why I will be here talking to you specific to Staples?
No, sir. No.
So if Staples management How many managers did you have under you at Staples?
So my direct reports,
How many people had access and a key to the cash room at Staples?
I'd say other than myself,
Yep.
there were, I think, 4.
4 other people. Okay.
I mean, and that's just during that time, mind you, like I was telling you before, there were many visits with many managers at different levels, you know, whether they're regional, divisional, in and out of that store.
Investigators eventually calculated a total loss of $30,000. That loss was spread across 11 separate missing deposit bags. Investigators traced the first missing deposit back to late February. The losses then continued, week after week through March. That documented timeline is what separates an ongoing scheme from a single mistake.
Very frequently.
Okay. The allegations is that there's money missing, and just before you answer, I've been working this case now for quite some time.
Right.
Okay. So the allegations, would you know whether there will be any allegations that there will be money missing from the cash room of Staples?
I can tell you what I am privy to regarding the discrepancies, because I was involved with investigating them. Probably, I don't remember how long before I went out sick, but I remember we provided all the information and the armored carrier logs, and you know, just everything that went along with that. And at that point, you know, that's as far as I was involved with that. Now, with that, I know that was as a result to it being reported through the system that they hadn't received.
Florida law does not require catching a suspect physically pocketing cash on camera. Circumstantial evidence, access logs, timestamps, a documented pattern can meet that legal threshold.
Deposits that were
Did you ever take any money from Staples? Before you answer,
Right.
understand that I've been dealing with this for now a few months. Did you ever take any cash deposits from Staples?
I did not take any cash deposits from Staples, and I understand.
Anybody else take cash deposits from Staples?
Not to my knowledge, not that I've seen or am aware
Okay.
of. I can tell you.
Have you ever come to Staples in a day or time that you were not supposed to be working at Staples?
Sir, I would come to Staples off my schedule at different times, all the time, and as related to what I was just explaining to you, I would come there as needed, as you know.
So if there's video of you walking out of that cash room with cash deposits, you're saying that that video would not be truth.
I'm saying that that's not what it. I did not take any cash deposits out of Staples. Now, and I had.
Here the pattern escalated from 1 missing bag to 11 bags total. That escalation itself became evidence of a continuing scheme. It showed a continuing scheme, not a single lapse in judgment. That distinction is exactly why prosecutors added a second charge.
Explained over the phone, dealing with the loss prevention, TED, and other, and you know, as far as, you know, some of the concerns that I had regarding the safekeeping, regarding, you know, the process, because they were on process, and I was doing my best to get things on process to avoid the types of issues and the discrepancies that we were going through at that time.
And what would be that? What would be one thing that you did to avoid that?
So in that, one of the main things is that in that particular safe, there is an internal safe as well. Like, so when you open the main safe, there's another one. And it's connected to a chute. And the chute goes down just like every other retail. I've been doing retail a very long time. And that's how it's supposed to be managed. So that way, once it's dropped, it's secured until the armored car person comes and picks it up with their key. And you have the second key. Well, what they were doing here is just preparing the cash and then putting it in the safe. You know, putting it in the bottom, which wasn't locked. They wouldn't lock it. It would be just set on day lock all the time. The one time I actually locked it, they had a conniption because they couldn't open it. They didn't have the key. So I found the key for them, purged the safe. And another issue is that they were keeping all of the lost and found, which this place had collected a lot of lost and found. I'm talking, birth certificates, IDs, just sentimental documents, everything from the copy center, flash drives. It was exploding out of the same section that they were putting, stacking their cash deposits up on. So I was working very hard to consolidate that lost and found, to try to reach out to the people who I felt like, if maybe their marriage certificate or death certificate, to try to get it back to them, because a lot of these are customers that I was recognizing. I was starting to, they're regulars. They didn't even know. They call about documents and they'd be told that it wasn't there because they were so unorganized. They didn't have a process for keeping track and following up on these things. So I worked very hard to do that, to get that consolidated and to get on process with the cash handling. And I made it very, very clear on the team as far as the expectation. Once they had a discrepancy on some of the cash drops, I was at that point starting to make sure that everybody was on process. Ted was the same thing. He was telling me, let's make sure we all understand the correct process on that. At no time, there have been times where, because of where the lost and found was situated, there were times where I have gone in there to recover a document or a belonging that belonged to a customer that left it there, and I would bring it and get it to them or mail it to them. So if there was if I'm being seen taking something out and it's not like helping or assisting with the transition of a cash drop, then it was in managing like the lost and found and managing the excessive amount of liability and all of those documents in there.
So you're saying that there was excessive amount of liability with the lost and found, and you're saying that there was a kind of a mess, that's my word.
It's a big mess.
Between the cash and that.
For years. I mean, these things were going back to like 2013.
But then you decide to merge the cash with the lost and found.
No, it was already done. It was already...
That's not what I was told. Here's what the allegations are.
That's not true at all. That is not true at all.
Listen,
you keep checking the go back. I swear to you, if you continue digging in the investigation for that fact of how they were managing lost and found, and you'll see from long before I got there.
That second charge was scheme to defraud. Florida Statute 817.034 targets systematic ongoing conduct. Conduct meant to defraud someone of money over time. A single missing bag could plausibly be explained as an accounting error. 11 bags disappearing over several weeks cannot be explained the same way.
They were using that bottom cabinet as the lost and found with no additional separation between that stuff and the deposit. But one thing I did was made them put all of the lost and found into like a consolidated bag that said lost and found on it, and make them try to upkeep the lost and found ledger as frequently as possible, or at least consistently. But I did not merge those two things together. I was trying to break them apart and to eliminate the lost and found, and then going forward, instead of automatically putting something that was found in there and forgetting about it, make an effort to contact, to look up, identify the person, and reach out and let them know that you have their item. And that's what we were doing up to that point. But they had things going back from like 2013, 2014 in there. And that was the issue. And I had expressed this concern to my direct supervisor, to Ted as well.
The arrest itself relied on a warrant already reviewed and signed by a judge. That judicial sign-off satisfies the Fourth Amendment's probable cause requirement for arrest. No warrantless search or seizure issue exists here because the warrant preceded the arrest.
At no point did I go in there and take money out of there. I mean, I've been going through enough, and it's been hard enough. Like, what's been going on? I was working open to close for months on end since I started there. No days off, and my family is out here. We weren't even able to settle into a permanent home yet. I have 7 kids. My wife, we weren't even supposed to be like that for this long, but I've been obligated to be here, which I've done in good faith, did my job, did everything I was asked, gone to other locations to help.
Do you want to be truthful today, or am I just going to listen to you talk?
Before any interrogation began, the detective properly read the manager his Miranda rights. That included the right to remain silent, and the warning that anything he said could be used in court. The manager confirmed he understood those rights, then chose to keep talking anyway. That decision falls squarely under Miranda versus Arizona, decided in 1966. Once rights are waived voluntarily, anything said afterward becomes fully admissible evidence. A warning only needs to be given once, not repeated every time a suspect keeps talking.
And I'm just a straight shooter.
I am being truthful in regards to
so here's it in regards to money that is missing from the safe, and you on video several times, at least 4 that I counted that I saw, where there's discrepancies in the cash. You walk into the vault, you remove the cash deposits, and you hide them, whether it's underneath a folder or then underneath something else. So do you want to talk about the truth, or do you want to, because the truth will set you free. I'm a reasonable person, and when there's no victim, there's no crime, Anthony. So if Staple decides not to be a victim any longer...
During questioning, the detective told the manager, quote, "When there's no victim, there's no crime." That statement oversimplifies how Florida criminal law actually works. Once probable cause exists and charges are filed, the state controls the prosecution, not the victimized company. A retailer choosing not to pursue restitution does not automatically end a filed criminal case.
You're not going to see Detective Palacios anymore. But if I'm going to sit here and I'm going to have to accept you lying to me, I think that's a little bit unfair. I think that's disrespectful. And we'll just leave it at that, and you stick to your story. If you want to be truthful and say, okay, listen, detective, we have been going through some tough times, and I went through this, and I was against the wall, because I will probably do the same thing, Anthony, if I have to feed my family. But please don't lie to me.
Tactics implying otherwise are generally permitted under Frazier versus Cupp, decided in 1969. That ruling allows investigators to apply psychological pressure and even overstate their evidence. The legal limit is that officers cannot make explicit threats or false promises of leniency. This exchange walks close to that line, but it does not cross it. The detective never actually promised any specific benefit in exchange for a confession.
After I've been looking at this for months now, because we're at the end of July, and this is back from February and March, I believe it was, and there's several deposits that are missing. And I don't know if you knew, but Anthony, I'm giving you the facts and the truth. The truth is documented, so I'm not making it up.
Understood.
So, and there's videos where it's on a sensory basis, that when it censors somebody in the room, it goes off and it starts recording. I've reviewed those videos. I've reviewed the consistency, and I saw you grab deposits from underneath the safe that you're explaining.
Despite facing 2 felony counts, the manager ultimately received 2 years of probation, not prison time. Florida sentencing guidelines use a point-based score sheet weighing prior record and offense severity and restitution potential. A first-time nonviolent felony offender frequently scores low enough for a judge to allow probation. The dollar value here, $30,000, kept this as second-degree grand theft, not the higher first-degree tier. That classification difference is very likely what kept prison time off the table.
I saw you logging in on the clipboard, whatever you were logging. I saw you pull out certain things. I've already gone through that. I'm trying to understand why you did it, so that I can pass along the information and you can potentially, honestly, help yourself. I'm not a judge, I'm not a jury. I just collect information, I review information, and I'm pretty decent at it. I'm not going to say I'm the best. I'm also very reasonable, and I will share whatever message you have for me to share with Staples and management. But just please understand that this is a decent time for us to talk about the truth, so that you can potentially help yourself by moving on out of this, so that you can take care of your 7 kids and your wife.
Sir, and I very much respect that, and I respect you and your time too.
Yeah.
But this is clearly a big misunderstanding, a big misunderstanding, and I am not going to say that I've taken something that I haven't taken.
Restitution to Staples also factored into why prison was not pursued. Judges also weigh whether a defendant has family dependents when setting probation conditions. That factor was explicitly part of this manager's sentencing discussion. That is a mitigating factor. Courts may consider not a legal excuse for the theft itself. Grading this case requires looking past just the detective and the suspect. The detective earns a grade of A-. He issued a complete Miranda warning and confirmed understanding before any real questioning began. He also built his entire interrogation on documented video evidence, not assumption or bluff. The only mark against him is rhetorical, not legal, framing this as Staples simply choosing whether to remain a, quote, victim oversells his actual authority. The former manager earns a grade of D. He waived his right to remain silent, then offered a shifting explanation for reviewed footage. Legally, that combination is precisely what prosecutors need to prove: intent to defraud. Staples Corporate Loss Prevention earns a grade of B-. Investigators correctly used camera timestamps and deposit logs to reconstruct the entire timeline. But the underlying drop safe was left unlocked as standard daily practice. That same safe doubled as a dumping ground for years of customer lost and found items. That combination of lax security and clutter created the opportunity this manager exploited. So if one unlocked drawer in your own business could hide $30,000 for months, would you notice before your bank did? First, physical access controls matter as much as background checks during hiring. A drop safe is only secure if it stays locked under one verified process every time. Second, once Miranda rights are read, silence functions as a legal shield, not as an admission of guilt. Volunteering an explanation for specific video evidence rarely improves a suspect's position. Third, an escalating pattern of small losses is itself legal evidence of a scheme. Treat any repeat discrepancy as a signal to audit immediately, not a reason to wait until the total grows larger. Let us know your thoughts on this case in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more legal analysis of police and business fraud investigations.